Hey everyone, BioFan here with a quick mini Mass Effect Andromeda news update. And 7 Day on November 7th is quickly approaching, so let's get a few news tidbits out of the way in preparation for all the juicy information that's about to be released. First off, BioWare level designer Jos Hendricks tweeted out this image of a t-shirt that some of the devs have gotten internally, which reads Andromeda Initiative, and has the same symbol that's been seen on other developer t-shirts, as well as the armor of Ryder and the female character from the Sony gameplay footage. Years ago, in 2014, another internal t-shirt was tweeted out by BioWare development manager Marie-Renée Brisebois that had a Pathfinder initiative on it. When asked whether these two initiatives were different, we didn't really get an answer, other than that we'd be learning more soon. And shout out to my friend Tucker over at Mass Effect Follower for getting that. BioWare General Manager Aaron Flynn also stated that they seem to be big on initiatives. Since devs such as development director Lee Cabarrus are listening to official unreleased Mass Effect Andromeda tracks, this must mean the music for the game is either finished or nearly there. At New York Comic Con, creative director Mac Walters was interviewed, and if you follow me on Twitter, you know how much disdain I had for the quality of the interviewer and his lack of preparedness. It was just a mess. But anyway, we did get a few little interesting tidbits. The upcoming comics for Mass Effect Andromeda, which may or may not yet be actually titled Discovery, will focus on characters from the game and tell their background stories about how they went to Andromeda. Not sure if these characters are squad mates, but we'll see. On trend with Mass Effect 2 and 3, you can have a romance with characters who are not on your squad. This was seen through Kelly and Traynor in the original trilogy. However, I'm guessing this may be larger and more up to par with romancing Cullen or Josephine in Dragon Age Inquisition, because as Walters explained, more resources have been invested in squad mates than ever before, with the squad mate with the fewest lines in Andromeda having 20% more lines than the squad mate with the most lines in Mass Effect 3. So it appears your squad mates, and probably other characters, will be a huge part of the story, and will have even more content in the game than previously. The environments and levels of Andromeda were designed differently based merely on the jumping mechanic of the game. And the last little nugget of info from the interview is that there will be a lot of information coming out on N7 Day. Some of it will focus on the setting and premise of the game. There will even be a few little things leading up to N7 Day as well. So, stay tuned. BioWare lead designer Ian Fraser confirmed that trophies and achievements are being implemented into the game now. This is something typically considered to happen near the end of game development, so the game must be near completion and is being heavily polished at this point. On a more humorous note, Fraser also confirmed that the team is making sure Ryder doesn't have various wardrobe malfunctions throughout the game. Though if one manages to slip through, that may be a pretty hilarious bug. Not gonna lie. Titan Books has just recently released an updated list of Mass Effect Andromeda book listings. The authors are very likely accurate, but I wouldn't feel too strongly about the release dates, as these were inaccurate the last time Titan Books released a similar listing. The first book, Nexus Uprising, is due for release in March 2017. The same month, the game is very likely to release. And it's written by New York Times bestselling author Jason Huff. Lost Ark will be released the following summer and is written by another New York Times bestselling author, Catherine Valente. Initiative, which has previously been teased as the first Andromeda novel, has now been moved to fall 2017, but is still being written by the highly acclaimed N.K. Jemisin. The last novel, which is currently unnamed, is set for release in the summer of 2018. Given that the previous listing had Mac Walters as the writer for the last novel, I wonder if he'll still be writing it. A list of upcoming pop toys and their release dates was recently leaked over Reddit, and featured two for Mass Effect Andromeda. The first will be released on January 15th and the next on February 12th. The second listing, which will be released first, has the added detail of Sarah, or Sarah, Being that there was a companion in Dragon Age Inquisition named Sarah, and it is the most recent game to Andromeda from BioWare, I honestly don't see how that could have made it past the editing team, especially since character names have been changed for much less. However, I guess if the female Ryder sister's default name, which you can change if you choose to play as her, were Sarah, or Sarah, that might be okay since she'd be important enough. The male Ryder's name was confirmed by industry insider, known simply as Shinobi, to be Scott. Scott and Sarah sound like they could go together. Or Sarah could also be just part of the name, as other listings on this document show names such as Stormtrooper cut off to Troop with an E. We'll see soon enough. Michael Gamble, a producer on Andromeda, says the Tempest may be his favorite ship, even over the Normandy. And last but not least, in case you were skeptical, Mac Walters confirmed over Twitter that the relationships between the Ryder family, being your dad and brother or sister, depending which sibling you choose to play as, will be an important part of the game. We're also supposed to find out where Mama Ryder is, but my guess is she's dead or back in the Milky Way, and those dog tags from the N7-Day trailer belonged to her. Well, folks, that's all the news for this round. Are you planning on playing as male or female Ryder? What are you wanting to see the most on N7-Day? Tell me all about it down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And while you're down there, be sure to attack that like button and share this video with your friends, family, random strangers. It's all good. For more Mass Effect Andromeda and BioWare related videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel by clicking the big red subscribe bar up at the top of the screen. For instant news coverage of BioWare games, feel free to follow me on Twitter and other forms of social media. Links to which can be found down in the video description. If you like my videos and would like to help support my channel and improve its quality, head on over to my Patreon page to donate. For more information about my Patreon page and the donation process, there's a video here on the screen with all of that as well.